All right. Let's start with introduction, name, and job title.
You want me looking at the camera?
That means
Sorry.
You're good.
Name is Chad Shelton. I'm the Recreation Supervisor with the City of Sun Prairie.
Where did you go to school and what did you study?
I went to school at St. Ambrose University in Davenport, Iowa. So it's kind of part of the Quad Cities there. So I got a 4-year degree in recreation management, or I'm sorry, sports and recreation management. And it was kind of a combination class where a focused on the business aspects as well as the more of the hands-on in the rec field.
How did you get into the recreation field after school?
Well, I had some experiences throughout college, a couple internships, and then just getting involved with the local Parks and Rec department in the area close to the college I went to, and just getting that experience and meeting people and learning more about the field. Even when I decided on what my major was going to be, I still didn't know exactly what I wanted to do with it. But once I got those experiences, and I got to kind of see how fun it was working in the field. Getting outside in the parks and working with kids. That just kind of sparked a few more interests, and I got some more opportunities, and that kind of led me to get in the field.
Yeah. What does a typical day of work look like for you?
Well, I think a lot of park and rec professionals would agree that there's not really a typical day as far as a consistent schedule or kind of the things that we work on. Every day is a little bit different, depending on the season, of course. During the school year, during the colder months, it is more time in the office. So more time spent at the computer, planning, scheduling, just communicating with staff, communicating with partners such as the school district, and it's kind of an ongoing cycle throughout the year of planning for that next season. We're usually planning about 3 months out or more. So a typical day then could be everything from computer work to actually getting out in the field, helping with programs, checking up on programs and staff, making sure there's supplies at the needed locations, and meeting with potential partners in the community and everything in between. So, it really is a field that you get to do a lot of different things, and that was one of the things, aspects that interested me about getting into the field, was that there wasn't kind of a standard, like you're going to do the same thing every single day. That's not what I wanted to get into.
So what do you like most about your job?
Yeah, well, that's part of it, is that every day is different. It's fun to get to meet a lot of different people. Families that come to our department asking, what is there to do, getting to know these families, getting to know the kids. If it's certain programs that maybe I'm spending a little bit more time hands-on with, you do get to know the kids, of course, and that's a lot of fun. And just, I personally, I like the combination of in the office and out of the office. I never wanted a job where I spent 8 hours a day behind a computer, at a desk, and so this is ideal to where it is a good mix of in the office and out in the parks. Of course, during the summer months, you can't beat getting outside and actually getting to move around a little bit, run around with the kids, and whatever else might come with that.
Definitely. What are some of the biggest challenges you face doing this job?
Well, I'd say for here in Sun Prairie, with our city being such a fast-growing community, it's great because we have a lot of new families coming to town looking for things to do. But one of the challenges that comes with that, and I know other communities would probably say the same thing, is that space is definitely a challenge. We're always thinking of new programs and trying to think of ways to expand our current programs. But when it comes down to it, we can only do so much, as much as the space allows, especially living in Wisconsin, and it's cold for, several months out of the year. We can't get outside. Going back to what I said about creating those partnerships, we do have a good, strong relationship with the school district, so we get one of the first priorities with reserving the school spaces, gyms and other spaces, so that's a huge help. But even with that, the schools do fill up with school functions, of course, after school sports and activities. So it is still a challenge with having enough space to do all the programs that we want to do. And then I guess kind of piggybacking on that, you know, trying to juggle all the programs that we offer with the different spaces that we use, you know, kind of an ongoing challenge is just managing that and keeping everything straight, and what staff goes to what locations, what equipment goes to what locations, and I'd say that's definitely a challenge that's ongoing, but I think it's probably typical in this field.
What advice do you have for someone preparing for a job in this field?
What advice? Well, I'd say, you know, just start to meet people in the field. The Wisconsin Park and Rec Association in particular is very well connected. There's a lot of people that like to stay engaged in monthly meetings, region meetings. So I'd say that's going to be a huge help for somebody that's thinking about getting into the field or that is ready to graduate and getting into the field, is that the more people you meet, it's only going to make things easier on them because they're creating those relationships. And then you know, a big thing that we do in Parks and Rec is we see what other communities are doing. You know, we reach out and say, hey, you know, how'd this program go? We're thinking about running it in our community. So I think that's a major thing, is just, you know, getting to know people, making sure people know you when you go to these meetings. And then also, you know, just be prepared, you know, entering the field to do a lot of different things. You know, it's not, you know, even when you get to when you get an entry-level job and then you kind of work up to more of a coordinator or supervisor, you know, just the nature of the Park and Rec field, you know, we all have our hand in a lot of different things, and it's not always the I guess it's not always the glamorous work, I guess is what I'm trying to say. You know, on any given day, any one of us in the office might have to go clean up a mess somewhere from a program, or you know, take out trash or things like that. So I guess just be prepared to do a little bit of everything. But, you know, that's definitely a positive that I see in the field, because it kind of goes back to where you're not doing the same thing every day. You know, it's you get to have your hand in so many different things, and that's going to be very important for somebody going into the field, getting that experience, whether they got that experience in an internship or they get it in their first job, is just learning all aspects of working in Parks and Rec.
What is something unique about working in Sun Prairie?
I guess I kind of touched on it, you know, just how fast the community is growing is definitely unique to us here, and just trying to keep up with that growth. You know, like I said, there's always, you know, maybe not so much on a weekly basis, but maybe on a monthly basis, there's families coming that's saying they're calling and they're saying they just moved to town. You know, what is there to do in Sun Prairie? So I think that's something that we have in Sun Prairie, that, you know, there are a lot of communities out there that maybe are not growing as quickly, or maybe not growing at all, that they don't have that, I guess maybe to constantly challenge them, because I feel like it does constantly challenge us here in Sun Prairie. You know, we don't want our programs to get stale. You know, we have to continue to expand our programming because of the influx of people moving here.
And my last question, are there any certifications that you have or you would recommend someone in the field get?
Sure. Well, I guess somewhat related to rec, but a certification that could help if you're going more if you want to be more involved with fitness is, you know, there's various personal training and group fitness certifications out there that could help if somebody wants to get that experience. Also, there's a couple different certifications that are specific to working in aquatics. That would be more somebody that's looking for maybe an aquatics manager position, or maybe part of the position they're looking for has to do with aquatics. But as far as Parks and Rec go, I mean, every state has their Parks and Rec certifications, and then also there's the National Certified Park and Recreation Professional, so CPRP. certification, and that's just going to open up more opportunities to that individual to for continuing education and networking. So those are just a few of the certifications that definitely beneficial.
All right, awesome. Thank you, Chad.
You're welcome.